Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks! What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short little unboxing to share with you guys. I have no idea what's in here. Surprise. This box was sent by... It just says Sanders. Thank you very much, Sanders, for sending this in. We will figure out what it is together. Thanks so much to my generous patrons who are supporting me right now. There's a link for Patreon right down below. And please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. Okay. And let's see here. There we go. Yes. Grace and precision. Okay. We have a bunch of bulk. There we go. My favorite thing in the whole world to know. Hey, I hope this finds you doing well. I'm super excited to be helping out your channel by sending this, for review. While it's not a ton, I am happy I had a knife on your list. Yeah, absolutely. Even one knife is like, that's huge. I love it. Thank you. Seriously. Love your content. Keep up the fantastic work. And okay, there we go. Good deal. Let's see what we've got here, guys. Ooh, weird. So this is the Spyderco Parata. Wow, that is a freaking goofball of a knife. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Listen, nothing again. Like, all I can do here is go by the standards of what my brain thinks a knife looks like, right? So nothing against the designer. It's just very different than the standard, and he probably knows that, right? It's probably why Spyderco collaborated with this designer and why the designer said yes to Spyderco, because Spyderco kind of makes weird-looking knives, right? So this is kind of a, I don't know, like the odd pelican of the bunch, right? The pelican is like, well, it's obvious. I mean, it's still a pelican, but it's obvious that's the one that kind of hobbling along behind the group. Do pelicans travel in herds? I don't think anyways. So this has that, well, I say that weird lock, but you can see there how this lock operates. I just guessed, by the way. So, let's be careful about that. This doesn't want to reverse. It can be reverse flicked. See, my brain wants to pull down on this like an axis lock. Is there a way to... Ooh, so yeah, you can do it, but I did not feel comfortable. Let's try that again. Lift up and press down. You can definitely do it with one hand. It's not super comfortable. Opening this knife up this way, lifting with two hands, no problem, right? Can it be thumb flicked out? Yeah. Does that matter? No. It's just something that knife people always check for, right? But can you do the turbo wick? Yeah! Sure you can, but if you do that with your knives, I feel sorry for you. I'm sorry that that's the path you went down. I'm just kidding. Everybody does that with their knives up to a certain point, and then until they hear, relentlessly, don't do that with your knives, right? I always make fun of that because when you're a kid, or an adult kid, it's cool to, for whatever reason, it gives people an odd sense of satisfaction to, whip their knives out like that, right? But what you're doing is you're aggressively slamming the tang of the blade into the stop pin or whatever is serving as the stop pin. And while that is technically what you're doing when you reverse flick knives out or you flick them out really hard, it's nowhere near the same level of impact as when you are whipping your knives open. It's 2, 3, 4, 5 times harder, and what you're doing is actually slowly smashing that surface down and increasing or, well, decreasing the life of the lock, right? So, don't do that. Do whatever you want. It's your money. I'm just saying that's why. If you're like, why do people in the knife community make fun of my cool knife whips? God, I thought everybody wants to see me to knife whip it, right? That's why people make fun of you. because don't do that. Anyways. It's just straight up. People are like, what is he talking about? Let's talk about the knife. This is freaking weird, man. So this is Seki City, Japan. We have a blade that definitely comes down to a thin edge. There you can see the tip, but I'm going to guess the taper down to the belly in some areas is a little thinner than the tip. These areas inside of the holes are not super sharp, a little bit sharp. Up here on the spine, it's definitely a little bit sharp. This is just satin finish you see from Seki City, Japan. Peel Ply Texture G10. On the inside here, is there steel? I don't believe so. Doesn't feel like it. Let's take a look. No, that's solid G10. Balance? Yeah, surprisingly, it's right under the pivot. Ergonomics. Ooh, boy, that's a pretty comfy boy. You have the wire clip, so it's nice and easy on the hands. The choke up spot on this is great. And honestly, if you hold it back here, it's also comfortable. I'm wondering what exactly the purpose of the blade is, right? I mean, people are going to say food prep. Well, if you lay it straight down, your initial contact point is right in the middle of the belly, and then you're just, right? So, I don't know. There might be a reason for this. I'm just not really sure what it is. We have a ginormous lanyard hole that is, once again, prioritized over the pocket clip, which is absolutely poo-poo town. But I'll tell you, the knife itself, is it centered? Pretty freaking close. I imagine I could probably adjust that a little bit. It does feel good. The lockup is absolutely... So I imagine a lock like this, because of the contact points, it ain't gonna go anywhere. And accidental disengagement is basically not possible. Everything's possible. Well, sure. Okay, if you're doing something really dumb with your knife and intentionally trying to do it, even if you say you're not, but you're subconsciously trying to do it, I suppose it'll probably disengage. Or if you put the handle in a vise and beat on the blade with a sledgehammer. So there you go. But in normal circumstances, no, I don't think so. I do like that choke up position, and there's still quite a bit of blade. This is an oddball. Some people really go for oddballs, right? That's why I wanted to look at this, because this thing is an absolute freaking goofball of a knife. But it's interesting. Can you get it right now? I think so. I think. I'll link it right down below if you guys want to take a look at it. What's the blade steel? Does it say? Oh, it's VG10. I know what this is going to be priced at. And listen, there's nothing wrong with VG. Like, VG10 is fine at a certain price point, right? Spyderco is one of the only companies out there, besides James Brand. Sorry, weird cough. Trying to push VG10 in the, like past the $100 mark, which I'm guessing this comes in at. I'm not going to speak for everybody, but I don't like to see VG10 on knives that cost more than about $70, right? It's a good, well-rounded steel. It used to be considered an amazing steel, like over 5 years ago, probably 6 or 7 years ago, right? Yeah, it used to, and even then it's like, it's pretty, it was like S30V 5 to 7 years ago. It's fine. If you're wondering, like, if I buy this knife, is VG10, is it like 8CR 13 MOV or like 7CR or what's another terrible seal? 420J, right? No, in fact, I mean, I shouldn't lump. That's terrible. I shouldn't lump 8CR 13 in with 420J. 8CR 13 MOV, obviously not a preferable steel, even at the $50 price point, right? But 420J or surgical steel, nah, that's junk, right? I'm gonna lump those in there. It's definitely better than those. Properties are definitely more well-rounded. This is an ingot form steel and very fine-grained, right? So yeah, ease of sharpening, it'll hold an edge for a little bit, right? Ease of sharpening is great. It's definitely stainless, reasonably tough, right? It's a good, well-rounded steel. There's steels that I prefer, definitely. There's steels that you can get for way less money right now that are better than VG10. 154 CM. 14C28N, definitely. We got those steels coming in around the $70 mark right now. So yeah, but VG10, I was expecting to see S30V, but okay, it is what it is, right? The weirdness will trump the blade steel, and obviously heat treat, and in my opinion, almost just as, if not more important, when you're cutting, blade geometry. This has got some crazy blade geometry. In some situations, this might perform better at certain tasks despite having a lesser steel, right? So, okay, neat. This is a 9-minute unboxing. There's definitely new people going, is this a review? I'm not really sure. It's kind of weird. This is kind of a weird guide. No, it's not a review. Just unboxings and first impressions. I can't review a knife after having handled it just for the first time. So, 2, 3, 4 weeks down the road, you guys will get a full comprehensive review. Of course, if you can't wait that long, that's fine. There's links down below. Just need to gather my thoughts on that guy. Thank you again to Sanders for sending this in. Guys, that's going to be pretty much it. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.